Hello students, let us start unit 6 and first chapter of inorganic chemistry, general principles and processes of isolation of element. It is simply called as metallurgy. To understand metallurgy, we have to understand some of the metallurgical terms. They are minerals, ores, gangue or matrix and metallurgy. Let us define all these terms. Minerals. Minerals are naturally occurring substances containing metals and metallic compounds. Any naturally occurring substance, if it contains metal or metallic compound and it is obtained by mining, then such substances are called minerals. The example for minerals are hematite, magnetite, galena, zinc blende, etc. All these substances contains metals or metallic compounds and they are obtained by mining. Therefore, they are called minerals. The next term is ore. Ores are minerals from which metals can be conveniently and economically extracted. From the mineral, if it is possible to extract the metal conveniently and economically, then such minerals are called ores. The example for ores are hematite, magnetite, galena, bauxite, etc. Now, one thing we have to remember, all the ores are minerals, but all the minerals are not ores. This is because from all the minerals, it is not possible to extract the metals. But from ores, it is possible to extract the metals. For example, bauxite and clay both contains the element aluminium. From bauxite, it is possible to extract aluminium by electrometallurgical process. But from clay, it is not possible to extract aluminium. Therefore, bauxite is the example for both mineral and ore. But clay is only the example for minerals. Therefore, all the ores are minerals, but all the minerals are not ores. The next term is gangue or matrix. The unwanted substances present in the ore are called gangue or matrix. Ore contains sand, mud, stone particles as an impurity. They are together called gangue or matrix. The next term is metallurgy. The general principles and processes of extraction of metals from its ore is called metallurgy. Various steps are there in the extraction of metals from its ore. All the steps are together called metallurgy. The next, occurrence of elements. About 92 elements are present in the earth crust and 118 elements are now discovered. And these 92 elements are extracted from the earth crust and they exist in nature in two forms, native form and combined form. It is also known as native state or combined state. Native state means elemental state. That means most stable state. For example, you consider oxygen. Oxygen exists as diatomic molecular state. It is its elemental form. Sodium. Sodium exists in monoatomic state and it is the elemental state of sodium. And phosphorus. Phosphorus is polyatomic or you can say it as tetraatomic. It exists in P4 form and it is the elemental state of phosphorus. The elements which occur in the native state are carbon, sulfur, gold, silver, platinum, etc. These elements exist in the elemental form. The next state is combined state. Many elements combine with the substances present in the earth crust and they exist in the combined state. The example for the combined state are oxide ores, sulfide ores, carbonate ores, silicate ores, etc. The example for the metal which occurs in the combined states are as follows. Metal aluminium. The ore of aluminium is bauxite and the composition of bauxite is Al2O3 2H2. Here, oxygen is combined with aluminium. So, it is called oxide ore. Another ore of aluminium, colinite, it is one of the form of clay and the composition of this colinite is Al2OH4 Si2O5. To remember the composition of colinite, you can consider number of aluminium atoms as standard. 2 aluminium atoms are there that you have to remember. Double of that hydroxyl ions are there. 2 plus 2, 4. 4 hydroxyl ions are there. And number of silicon atoms same as that of aluminium atoms, that is 2. And number of oxygen atoms see here 5, that means 1 more than that of hydroxyl ions. So in this trick you can remember the composition of colinite, and the composition of colinite is Al2OH4 Si2O5. The next ore of iron, hematite. The composition of hematite is Fe2O3. Iron is combined with oxygen, therefore it is called oxide ore. Another ore, magnetite, the composition is Fe3O4 and it is also the oxide ore of iron. Siderite, the composition is FeCO3. See here, carbonate ion is combined with iron, Fe2 plus ion, and it is the example for carbonate ore. Iron pyrites, it is the sulfide ore of iron and the composition is Fe(S). The next ores of copper, the first one is malachite. The composition is CuCO3, CuOH twice. Copper glans, Cu2S. See here, sulfide ion is combined with copper, so it is sulfide ore. Copper pyrites, the composition is CuFeS2. It is the ore of both copper and iron and it is the sulfide ore. Cuprite, it is the oxide ore of copper and the composition is Cu2O. Next, ores of zinc, zinc blended. The composition is ZnS. It is the sulfide ore of zinc. Zincite, the composition is ZnO and it is the oxide ore of zinc. Calamine, it is the carbonate ore of zinc and the composition is ZnCO3. You may be confused with the composition of malachite and calamine. See, malachite is the ore of copper. Both are carbonate ores and calamine is the ore of zinc. Concentrate on them. The next, the most abundant element present in the earth crust is oxygen, and the most abundant metal present in the earth crust is aluminum. Here you have to concentrate whether they have asked element or metal. If they ask element, the answer is oxygen. If they ask metal, the answer is aluminum. You concentrate on whether they have asked element or metal. And the order of abundance is like this. The most abundant element present in the earth crust is oxygen, then silicon, then aluminium, and then iron. Next, how to extract the metal from the ore. The steps involved in metallurgy are concentration of ore, isolation of metal from its ore, and purification of metal. The purification of metal is also known as refining of metal. First, we will consider this concentration of ore. Concentration of ore means the process of removal of impurities present in the ore. It is also known as ore dressing or benefaction of iron. In the concentration process, we are removing the sand, mud particles present in the ore, and unwanted impurities present in the ore are removed. And to concentrate the ore, we have to consider the physical properties of gangue particles and ore particles. If I say ore particles, that indicates the metal particles present in the ore. Many methods are there to concentrate the ore. Depending upon the physical properties of ore particles and gangue particles, we have to select the suitable method to concentrate the ore. In our NCERT syllabus, there are 4 methods are there. First one, hydraulic washing. Second one, magnetic separation method. Third one is Frucht flotation method. And the fourth one is leaching. First, we will consider hydraulic washing. When we have to select this hydraulic washing method, when ore particles are heavier and gangue particles are lighter, then we can select this hydraulic washing method. The principle involved in this method is the difference in the gravities of ore particles and gangue particles. And in this method, we have to consider a hydraulic classifier. In the hydraulic classifier, at the top we can see hopper. This part is called hopper. And at the bottom we can see pipe. And in this system, we have to introduce finely powdered ore from the hopper. And powerful supply of water is introduced from the bottom in the upward direction. Here, lighter particles are gangue particles and heavier particles are ore particles. When we supply the powerful supply of water, the lighter gangue particles are carried by this flow of water and are collected at the top. The heavier metal particles will settle down. So, we can separate gangue particles and ore particles and we can concentrate the ore. If you want, I will repeat it once again. We have to introduce finely powdered ore from the hopper and we have to supply powerful supply of water from the bottom in the upward direction. The lighter gangue particles are carried by the current of water and are collected at the top, and heavier metal particles or ore particles will settle down and are collected at the bottom of the hydraulic classifier. So in this way we can separate ore particles and gangue particles and we can concentrate the ore. The next method is magnetic separation method. In the magnetic separation method, we have to consider the ore which is magnetic in nature and gangue particles are non-magnetic in nature or vice versa. The principle involved in this method is difference in the magnetic properties of ore particles and gangue particles. Now, we have to introduce the finely powdered ore above the non-magnetic roller. And the system consists of 2 rollers. One is magnetic roller and another one is non-magnetic roller. Here this one is non-magnetic roller and this one is magnetic roller. Above the non-magnetic roller, we have to supply finely powdered ore. And the 2 rollers are surrounded by a moving belt. When we supply the finely powdered ore above the non-magnetic roller, this moving belt carries the finely powdered ore particles. When it reaches near the magnetic roller, magnetic particles are attracted and non-magnetic particles are rejected by the magnetic roller. See, finely powdered ore is introduced above the non-magnetic roller and moving belt carries the powdered ore. When it reaches near the magnetic roller, the magnetic particles are attracted and non-magnetic particles are rejected. In this way we can separate the magnetic particles and non-magnetic particles. See, magnetite ore can be separated by this magnetic separation method, or chromite ores are also separated by this magnetic separation method. And also, see, in this method either ore particles should be magnetic and gangue particles are non-magnetic, or gangue particles are non-magnetic and ore particles are non-magnetic, then only we can use this method. If both the particles are magnetic, we cannot use this method. Either one of the particles should be magnetic in nature and another one should be non-magnetic in nature. Then only we can select this magnetic separation method. The next flux rotation method. This method is used when ore particles are lighter and gangue particles are heavier. And usually this method is used to concentrate sulfide ores. And the principle involved in this method is the difference in the wettability of ore particles and gangue particles. In this method, large tank containing water is taken. And to that we have to add finely powdered ore. Little pine oil or fatty acids or xanthates are added to it, and little froth stabilizers like aniline or cresol is also added. This pine oil or fatty acid or xanthates are called collectors. Collectors enhances the non-wettability of ore particles in water, and froth stabilizes the froth. This is the role of collectors and stabilizers. Next, we have to agitate the mixture. We have to mix the mixture, and then we have to supply the compressed air using this piston. Now, when we supply the compressed air, froth is developed inside the tank. The lighter ore particles here are wetted by oil and heavier gangue particles are wetted by oil. And these lighter ore particles are carried by the froth and are collected at the top. And the heavier gangue particles will settle down. Now this froth is collected, concentrated and dried. Then we will get the concentrated ore. See, in this method, the large tank containing water is taken. To that, finely powdered ore is added, little pine oil is added, and little cresol or aniline is also added. Now the mixture is agitated. Now the ore particles present in the ore are wetted by oil and gangue particles are wetted by water. The ore particles are lighter. When we supply compressed air inside the tank, the froth is developed inside the tank, and this froth carries the lighter ore particles and heavier gangue particles will settle down. This froth is collected and then concentrated and dried, then we will get concentrated ore. Now this flux rotation method is also used to separate the mixture of two sulfide ores by using depressants. If you have the mixture of zinc sulfide and lead sulfide, we can use a depressant sodium cyanide. Sodium cyanide allows only lead sulfide to come along with the froth. This sodium cyanide forms complex with the zinc and it remains in the solution itself. So in this way we can separate two sulfide ores by using depressants. The role of depressant is very important in board examination for 1 mark. The role of depressant is used to separate two sulfide ores. That is regarding Frucht flotation method. The next method is leaching. This leaching method is also known as Bayer's method. Using Bayer's method, we can leach bauxite ore. Leaching is one of the method of concentration of ore by using suitable solvent. Leaching method is selected when ore particles are more soluble in the suitable solvent and gangue particles are insoluble. Now we will leach bauxite ore. It is very important for 3 marks. Leaching of alumina from bauxite. It involves 3 steps. We'll go one by one. The bauxite ore contains titanium dioxide, iron oxide and silicon dioxide as an impurity. This bauxite ore is finely powdered and it is agitated with a concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide, about 45% sodium hydroxide, and it is heated at a temperature of 473 Kelvin to 523 Kelvin under 35 to 36 bar pressure. When we heat it, the aluminium oxide present in the bauxite ore reacts with the sodium hydroxide and water to give sodium aluminate. Say the aluminium oxide present in the ore is converted as sodium aluminate and the silicon dioxide impurity is also converted as sodium silicate. The other impurities, iron oxide and titanium dioxide, they are solids, they remain as it is. Now in this reaction we have to balance the reaction. See, 2 aluminium atoms are there with aluminium oxide. To balance that I have to write 2 here. If I write 2 there, the number of sodium atoms becomes 2. To balance that, I have to write 2 here. And now we have to balance the number of hydrogen atoms. Totally here, 4 2s are 8 hydrogen atoms are there. To balance that, 2 hydrogen atoms are there along with the sodium hydroxide. Remaining is 6 hydrogen atoms. To balance that, I have to write 3 here. If I write 3 here, along with water there are 6 hydrogen atoms and 2 hydrogen atoms are there along with sodium hydroxide. Totally 8 hydrogen atoms in the left hand side and 8 hydrogen atoms in the right hand side, and it is balanced. Now we will see whether number of oxygen atoms are balanced. The number of oxygen atoms present in the right hand side is 4 2s are 8. Say here 3 plus 2 5, 5 plus 3 8. Now it is balanced. And to remember this you can use one of the trick 1 2 3. 1 molecule of aluminium oxide and 2 molecules of sodium hydroxide and 3 molecules of water. Like that way also you can remember 1 2 3 numbers. Now here in the solution we have sodium silicate and sodium aluminate. I will repeat it once again. The finely powdered ore is mixed with concentrated solution of sodium hydroxide and it is an aqueous solution. Solution is prepared by using water. And it is heated at a temperature of 473 to 523 Kelvin and under 35 to 36 bar pressure. Now aluminium oxide present in the ore reacts with the sodium hydroxide and it is converted as a complex sodium aluminate. Silicon dioxide present in the ore is also converted as sodium silicate and the other impurities remains in the solid state. Now we can separate the solid particles and liquid particles by the process filtration. Now our filtrate contains sodium aluminate and sodium silicate. In the second step, we have to convert this sodium aluminate into hydrated alumina. We have to convert sodium aluminate into hydrated alumina. To the filtrate, we have to pass carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas neutralizes sodium aluminate and hydrated alumina is precipitated. Hydrated alumina is precipitated and the side product found is sodium bicarbonate. Now, to enhance the precipitation, we can add freshly prepared aluminium oxide. Here, sodium aluminate reacts with carbon dioxide to form hydrated alumina and sodium bicarbonate. Like we have to balance the equation. See here, 2 aluminium atoms are there. To balance that, I have to write 2 here, and the number of sodium atoms becomes 2. So I have to write 2, and the number of carbon atoms 2. So I have to write 2. And further we can't balance here. Here we wrote XH2O. So further we cannot balance. So this is the second step. We got a precipitate of hydrated aluminium oxide. It is separated, and in the third step we have to convert hydrated alumina into pure alumina. Hydrated alumina into pure alumina. Only the thing is, only water particles are there along with that. So we have to heat the hydrated alumina at a temperature of 1473 Kelvin. If you heat this hydrated alumina about 1473 Kelvin, all the water particles are removed and we will get pure aluminium oxide. The water particles present in the hydrated alumina is separated and we will get pure aluminium oxide. In this way we can concentrate alumina from bauxite by Bayer's method. Thank you.